In 1980, Gavaskar spent the summer playing for Somerset in English county cricket. Also in the side were Viv Richards, Joel Garner and Ian Botham.
I played with him, of course, at Somerset for a year, played a lot of Test cricket against him. Thoroughly enjoyed his company, very generous, very warm person, but a magnificent player. He was low centre of gravity, he had great balance, and if he played a bad shot, or what he thought was a bad shot, you'd suddenly see him put the bat, lean the bat against the stumps or drop it, and he'd do this down the wicket. And he'd just look and look. And I asked him one day, I said, "What are you doing, son?" He said, "Yeah, he's refocusing. I'm refocusing, and that was wrong, I'm refocusing." And he just used to shut everything out and then just go back. But he was a great timer with the ball, could work it either side of the wicket, well balanced, he had everything.
Will he make it 9,000?
There it is, that's his 9,000th run.
In the 80s, Gavaskar rewrote record after record. He became the first man to play 100 tests and 200 innings, and the first man to pass 9,000 and then 10,000 test runs.
He made us all proud. I mean, the little man, an opener from India who's never faced fast bowlers. We don't have pitches in India, you know, which are conducive to fast bowling. And he goes and scores runs against Dennis Lillies and Malcolm Marshalls and Andy Roberts with so much of ease. I mean, he did us all proud. The highest run getter in the history of Test cricket at that time when he scored those 10,000 runs. And opening the innings and facing the best bowlers in the world.
What I used to do to practice against the quicker bowlers was ask the Mumbai bowlers, Mumbai new ball bowlers to bowl from, say, about 18 yards instead of the regulation 22 yards. So that made it a little bit quicker, and occasionally have had them bowl with the ball on concrete as well, again where there was a bit more bounce in it. So that's the way I tried to practice against the quicker bowlers. Cut down the distance so the ball would come at you quicker, and try to get some practice. Otherwise, you know, you had somebody bowling at you in the nets from about 16 yards, just standing up and bowling, not running up and bowling. But again, that way the ball would come at you quicker, would bounce at you quicker. It got you some practice. It wasn't always enough, but at least it got your reflexes into some sort of motion.
Straight drive from Gavaskar. He's played that shot a few times.
I think his best shot was the straight drive down the ground of the fast bowlers. He got into such great position. He would go back and across against the quickest, and then just wait for them to pitch the ball up, and he would offer the full face of the blade and just punch it down the ground between the mid-on and the bowler. It was an outstanding shot. He played it against all the great fast bowlers.
After winning the 1983 World Cup, Indian hopes were high for the home series against the West Indians in the 1983-84 season. It was a series in which the Indian side struggled against the devastating Caribbean pace attack, all except Gavaskar. In the second test of the series, he equaled Don Bradman's mark of 29 test centuries with a devastating 100 from 94 balls.
What a great innings that was. I was fortunate to be in that team. I was playing that test match, and what an innings that was. I think he had decided the previous night that he is not going to duck anymore. He is not going to, you know, sway away anymore. He's just going to play all his shots, whatever he's got. And he just hooked everybody, Andy Roberts, Michael Holding, Malcolm Marshall, with so much of ease. I mean, that 100, I think that was one of the best hundreds, most aggressive hundreds I've seen from Sunil Gavaskar.
In the final test of the series, Gavaskar broke Bradman's record, compiling a stylish 236 not out.
I think that was a great knock. Again, he scored a 236 not out, and the best part was that before he went into bat, I was just sitting beside him, and he just told me that today is the day I've got to show my mettle. I'll have to concentrate harder. And he just scored 236 runs, and I just kept sitting there amazed that this man already planned what he was going to do, and he planned it so quickly and went and achieved it. That was his greatness, that was his quality.
Out of 400 wickets, Sunil Gavaskar is my prize scalp, as they call it, because he was so proper. He will make sure that he'll never give you wicket. He told me recently, Vaz, when you played against me in 87 series, I told myself, I'm never going to give a wicket to this young boy. I said, why? Why is that? You should have just nicked one to me easily. Sunil Gavaskar caught it slip, bowled Wasim Akram. He said, no. That was my plan. So, you know, he was such a planner. He was, again, very his defense was immaculate. Right there behind the ball, he never backed away. One of the greatest of all time.
Gavaskar, to me, was probably the best player, technically, I've seen in probably the last, well, since my retirement. I'll be quite honest about that. I saw Sunil Gavaskar play for, I think it was the rest of the world, or he might have even played for, it was a special match at Lord's. And all I can remember is Malcolm Marshall bowled to all the different, you know, like the different people. And Malcolm made a mess of everybody. And Sunil Gavaskar didn't do anything else but play him every ball. I can't remember a ball getting past him. And I thought, goodness gracious, that was enormous. And have a look at his record in the West Indies, against the West Indies when they had the pace breaks, and his averages and the runs he scored. They really exemplify a player that has got enormous ability, but obviously if you have got any weaknesses at all in technique, pace bowling will always find it out.
One thing about this little master I would like to tell you is that the more the challenge, the better he would perform. Now, scoring runs against the West Indies would mean the world. 4 best fast bowlers in the world were in the West Indian team when Sunil Gavaskar was playing. So scoring runs against them meant a lot to him. And that's one reason I feel why he could score so many runs against them, was that there was more challenge, you know, that facing 4 fast bowlers, there is no time to breathe, was there. So that is the reason why he scored so many runs against the West Indies.
Gavaskar's not out for 166. A great innings by a truly great player, a legend in his own lifetime, Sunil Gavaskar.